Welcome to the sexy episode. This is episode episode 6 of Poppin' Off Pink. I am one of your co-hosts, Chi.
I'm junie.marz.
Hey, it's Kimber.
We have to give a special shout out first to Junie. Congratulations.
Oh,
Tell everybody about your latest accomplishment.
So I graduated from my Speak to Inspire program, so I'm going to be continuing my motivational speaking journey, so you can follow me on my page. This month I'm doing a 30 speeches live in 30 days challenge. So you can join me every day in the 7 o'clock hour on Instagram while you get ready. You know what I mean? Get some inspiration.
Yes. Follow her at junie.marz, and if you're lazy and don't get up that early, catch the replay because she's doing it every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is a good time, I think, for you to be doing this because people kind of get sluggish.
Yes, during the winter
It's cold, so
Yeah.
let Junie light you up.
Put some pep in that step, honey.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, I literally will wake up for work at like 6 in the morning and see Junie's live, and she's like rising before the sun, and I'm just like, girl, okay.
Crust is still in my eye, and I'm like, but the energy and the light and everything you're saying is very inspiring.
Thank you. You know, it's really important to me to be inspiring. It's important for us to share our gifts with the world, right?
Amen.
Yep. And I know your inspiration is real because, like, I'm generally like uninspired by inspiring people, but like you make me almost squirm a little bit with how motivational you are, and that's a compliment coming from me. Like, damn, like, whoa, maybe I need to reevaluate.
Kimber, that I really appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
And this woman to my right
Hey.
has been a busy bee. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with last week because I was in attendance, and we got a shout out.
Dad Hats and Bow Ties.
Yes, our fellow podcast family, Dad Hats and Bow Ties, was in the building. Kimber was holding it down, per usual.
Barely.
And they were just right out the gate, very entertaining, but also very funny. And I like the fact that, you know, that they tease each other. You know, when you have that type of relationship. It's only certain people I have that type of relationship with, but I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's a good thing that they're not like my best friends because we'd probably never speak again. But shout out to Distinguish and XAB. Like, they're super rambunctious and super annoying, but nonetheless, we had an amazing live show over at a venue that shall not be named because they were extremely obnoxious.
Oh, really? Wow,
and
okay.
extremely racist. Like,
What?
it's still on my spirit.
Oh, my goodness.
And they did a whole lot for nothing because, you know, their best dish was obviously wings and fries, and their drinks were watered down. So fuck that place. But we had an amazing show, so thank you so much for showing up. Thanks for, you know, whoever was there, whatever. Thanks for your support. All of that jazz. It was real cute, and I had a good time.
Special shout out to Chad, the lifeguard.
Yes. Oh my God. Chad, I'm so sorry.
What happened to Chad?
Oh.
His name isn't Chad. That's
First
the
of all.
part that kills me. Like, the host, Silva, shout out to her. She was incredible.
She was hilarious.
And she dubbed, like, the only white guy in the crowd, who happened to be with Chi. She dubbed him Chad the lifeguard,
Yes.
and I was like,
my
God damn it. And then, sure enough, Distinguish and XAB come out, and they're just, like, ripping on him, like, the whole time, and I just wanted to, like, dive off the side of the stage.
Damn.
I was like, you guys are so fucking annoying.
Oh, my God. It was a fun night.
It was
But
fun.
I also want to talk, like, Junie, again, you can follow her on Instagram and Twitter at junie.marz.
Yeah.
You can follow this one at Kimber Can't Draw.
Not that I want you to.
But
if you want to
I don't
follow
even
me.
know if you have a Twitter, Kimber. So
I
I
don't.
just literally created your own hashtag, which is Real Regular
Ooh, I
with
like
Kimber.
that.
Yes.
And if y'all have not been tuning in, because I know most of our audience listens to us, we do have a YouTube channel. And Kimber has been killing it with the reality. She's been taking one for the team because we said on the last episode, none of us watch television.
Yes.
So she has
I've been torturing
boldly
myself.
and bravely gone where no Poppin' Off Pink co-host has gone and delved into reality TV.
Knee deep in the shit. Knee deep in the sewer.
So awesome.
Watching these reality shows. Waste of space, waste of airtime, but doing it so you guys don't have to, and we can peer into the so-called lives of these reality show
And
stars.
the thing is, you're right. Like when you say so we don't have to, because like when you were talking about how big Lil Mama's hair was, like I legit like could imagine it, even though I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like I get the whole download and I don't have to sit through it.
Right. It's just like, you know, meeting up with a friend for lunch and just finding out what's going on without actually having to be in the mix yourself. Because if I didn't have to, I probably would not waste my 45 minutes watching a lot of these shows.
Man, we need a big ass shout out for ourselves. You know why?
No.
I don't know if people think we be putting people up to tweets, but we fucking do not, okay? And there's this woman, I cannot remember her Twitter handle, I'm going to tweet her after the show, but she's been, like, giving really great commentary on our show, and she recently was like, you know, you could tell she was catching up. Shout out to all the new listeners.
Yes.
I'm going to give her a recap of episode 5 in a minute. She was like, yo, I'm listening to Baby Mother because she listened to our show, and I don't even remember what episode that was, but, like...
Baby Mother needs all the endorsements in the world. She's working on Mother's Day 3, and I'm just so here for it. Like, she's become a part of my diet at this point.
Yeah.
You know, she's awesome.
It's really interesting because we all gave different, you know, up-and-coming picks, and, you know, Baby Mother, she's like, I'm listening to her because I listen to your show. That made me feel really great, so shout out to you, Kimber.
Shout out.
And Junie's pick...
Oh my God, Junie's pick. The universe is just lining up.
Right?
Yes.
We going to LaKaylee 47's launch party later tonight for her new album, Acrylic.
Yep.
Make sure you check that out. It's just cool watching the growth of the people that, you know, we've highlighted so far.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're not going to tell you who we're going to highlight later, but
they're going to be highlighted.
They're going to be highlighted. And we're going to watch that growth.
Yep.
That new growth.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
New growth, no relaxer.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are new, again, we love you. Shout out. But let's just give you a little recap what you missed last time. Episode 5. It's so cold. Like, it's really funny to me. So episode 5 was cuffing season, and we're really knee deep in cuffing season. Because, you know, as I was walking here, and the wind was just hitting my face. We're in NYC, by the way, if you're joining us from somewhere else. And I'm just like, this is real cuffing season. Like, I'm not this type of person, but I know it's people walking around today, because today was the first really cold day.
Really cold.
And they're like, damn, I need to get
today
a
was
boo
rough,
that
man.
I can, like, cuddle with. You know it's people inspired, literally, by today's weather to go get somebody to lay down next to them and cuddle with. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are trifling.
Yeah, like, why can't you just get a bottle of Henny or whatever your choice and be done instead of the seasonal boo thing?
But the highlights from last time, we talked about, oh God, I just remembered. I talked about how I lost my virginity because of Lil Kim.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
We also talked about how music has inspired our relationship.
My twisted reality, yes.
And Junie just couldn't get it out of her head that this girl did not like Beyonce.
For real. That was the real talk, man.
Yeah. And we talked about some high profile couples. Anything else you want to highlight from last episode?
I smoked too much to remember, but I'm sure it was great.
It was great. I remember
It felt
the energy
great.
was high.
Right. That much I'm aware of.
And I would be remiss before we really dig into it if I didn't remind y'all to give us money.
Where's my cup so I can, like, shake it? Anyone of y'all got, like, some change for me to write?
They might want you to shake something else for some
I mean,
money.
I can if that's what it takes. And I know how.
If y'all want us to shake something, they might want you to shake something else for some money.
I mean, I can if that's what it takes. And I know how.
If y'all want us to shake something,
we can do a quick, like, 30 seconds.
we can do something. We can do a little.
But you gotta give us the money first.
Right. I'm all for it. I've been practicing too. if you follow me on Instagram, you know I've been getting up every morning. Junie been getting up every morning, inspiring people. You may or may not. I've been getting up every morning, twerking and Shout out to the whole Tommy the Clown crew. Shout out to the whole Chicago footwear crew. That's what I've been doing.
Okay, exercising.
And then, and then I come to work and be annoying because I'm like hype.
People are looking at you like, why are you so like?
All I care about is that my hair is freshly gelled in the morning. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Looking
So,
yeah, it's looking great.
I don't know. I feel like an ash master, but we're gonna move on.
Yes. So speaking of Instagram, a big chunk of what we're going to talk about today is around influencers.
Yes.
And shout out to Hazel the Unicorn because she's the one who sent me this clip a long time ago. This was even before, not that long ago, but before we taped episode 5. And it was a post originally by a gentleman named Prince. I hope I'm saying his name right. Prince Ia. It's EA. So I don't know if that's Ia or EA, but
Prince Extra, as far as I'm concerned.
he's a director, I think, but it was reposted by our friend of the show, Mariah Johnson, who's an actor. And I'll repost it after today. But basically, he was saying, if you're an influencer and you have this huge following, you're influencing people to do what? Is it about beauty? Is it about cars? Is it about material objects? And then he said, and this is how he ended it, and it really stuck with me. And if you watch the video, it's like his intonation, everything, very passionate. He said, when people come to your page, do they walk away better or worse?
Mm-hmm. I felt that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people, whether they realize it or not, are agents of doom at this point because we are essentially stripping people of their virtues. You know, like what really pissed me off at one point, maybe a year or two ago, was that being fuckless and not having feelings was like trending so hard, and no one wanted to express how they were feeling. But then it's like the next phase is the contradiction of keeping it 100. So it's like you got people walking around not feeling anything but keeping it 100, just really stripping people of their virtues. You know, like vanity is at its highest point now. And it's just, I don't know, I just really want to shake the shit out of everybody and be like, put your fucking phone down and pay attention to what technology is doing to us.
Yes.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, like convenience is just what it seems. It's convenience, and convenience breeds complacency, laziness, and all the other unhealthy shit imaginable. And I'm just waiting for everybody to catch up. Like, it's so terrifying.
It's sticking out to me. I've been noticing. I wish I could just tell you it's the girls that are the Instagram models or the guys. To be honest, I've looked at people that I follow. Some are very prominent in business. Some are prominent in entertainment. Some, it's across the spectrum. Some comedians. And what's really bothersome, and thankfully it's not most of the people I follow, but there's a handful that fall in all those, different categories, and they are starting to be very, I don't know if vanity is the right word, but like their stories are basically like, look at what I got.
Yeah.
I got this free trip to Miami.
Very
I'm
braggadocious.
eating lobster.
Yep.
I'm just like, that's okay every now and then, but like that's your narrative on your story. Like how are you thinking about how your audience is taking this?
Not
It could be
at all.
kids following you. It could be folks that's like waiting to get paid following you. You don't know, and you're not at all thinking about like, how is this coming across the 35th time I brag about what I'm doing. Like, it's just really, do you just think that people, and Junie and I had this discussion before the podcast, because I was very adamant, now remembering, I was said, I don't want to be a show where we encourage people to worship us.
Right. Don't
Because
care
then
about us.
I might as well not do the show.
Right.
Like, to me, you inspire people with your craft, and also where you can help them. You know, if someone's watching your videos, for example, and they're like, hey, I want to kind of do that for myself. Do you have any tips? I mean, you can't do the work for them, but, inspire and be helpful. It's like sometimes I feel like people are even terrified of the next me, like the next one of them that's coming up the pipeline, and they don't want to help them. They just rather sit there and just like, watch me brush my teeth. Watch me comb these edges down. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You look the same way you did yesterday.
Yeah.
Somebody had told some of y'all that y'all are cute I don't know if it was when you were growing up or recently when you came out of the ugly duckling phase, but you need to get over yourselves. Seriously.
I mean, there was so much in that, Chichi. But I will say, girl, let it out, honey. I feel like Instagram has, it's not just Instagram, I'm going to just talk about social media. It has made us compare ourselves to one another. That's what it's geared towards, you know? Who has so many likes? Who has more likes than me? Who has more views than me? What are they doing? Okay, let me do it too. Instead of using it as a community builder. And I think, I think there's some people, you know, like us, we do positive things.
Sometimes.
Okay, yes.
We try to tip the scales towards more positive.
But, you know, I think that for the most part, if you really ask people at the core, why are you on Instagram? Unfortunately, I think a lot of people, if they're honest with themselves, it's for self-validation.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay? It's really at the core
a word.
To get on there and have people approve of you and validate your existence. And tell you that you're beautiful because you got 7,000 likes. Right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And, you know, on my own journey, it's been hard for me. I used to be someone who hated social media. I didn't use it. I didn't want it. People were like, you don't have Instagram? I was like, no, I don't need Instagram. Like, why?
Exactly.
But then, you know, over time, I kind of like became an Instagram head or whatever. But it's hard for me to sometimes put my phone down and say, like, it doesn't matter how many views you get. Don't get obsessed with that.
It's just, it's so easy to get sucked
in.
I hate it. I hate it so much. For a long time, I didn't have any social media either. And to this day, I still, if I could help it, I wouldn't have it. But after a time, people were, like, encouraging me, like, oh, you should have, like, an Instagram for your art to showcase your art because it's like a portfolio. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, fine. And then I get it. And, you know, like, gradually, like, people wanted to collaborate with me or do more things. And I'm like, okay. And then I found, like I did before, especially with Facebook, that I was using it too frequently. And the things that I used to do with my time productively started to shift towards all the time that I spent there. I would be on my phone just scrolling aimlessly, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, my thumbs are getting stronger and everything else is falling apart.
Exactly.
And, you know, like, as someone that's, I'm the Blanche Devereaux of this group. So, to say it nicely and as cleanly as possible, I've seen behind the curtain of some Instagram personalities. And a lot of people are definitely playing up what they'd like you to see and not who they actually are. Because the people that are, you know, turning up every weekend and doing this and that are probably splitting bottle service 16 ways. It's just...
Well, I would say I was an early adopter. My brother, Mike, he's a technology crazy person. So he was on a lot of these platforms before people really were on them. So he was, of course, like, you joined too, you know. So we were like one of the first people on Twitter. I had a pretty big following, and then I deleted it for years. I only got back on recently, like right after we launched my personal Twitter. And then Instagram I've been on for a while, but honestly, when I first got on, I would say after about a year or so, there was a group of us who actually were into photography, and we moved from Instagram to this other app that just got completely deleted from the App Store. But we basically formed our own community, you know, and we like met up and stuff like that. So for me, it's always been about community. I wasn't necessarily anti-social media, but that's how I was using it. And I still am floored to this day, and I get mad at some of my friends, you know who you are, and family members when something major happens, and I do not use Facebook. I was in the hospital, and then I find out, you know, because someone else tells me, and I'm like, what the hell? Why didn't you text me? Or, well, I put it on Facebook.
Oh my
people
gosh!
Allow Facebook to replace interaction. I don't care if I'm on all the apps all the time. That is not a replacement for you to pick up the damn phone to tell me if there's some emergency or you're going to the hospital. No.
I'll never forget, someone was sitting right next to me, like, oh, have you seen this? I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, right, you don't have Facebook. I'm like, bitch, you could just show it to me. I'm sitting right here. What the hell? What the hell?
And I think because of that, people don't really know how to have conversations anymore.
Right.
If there's an awkward silence, for a moment, or there's a pause in a conversation, the first thing that people will do to soothe themselves is pick up their phone.
Yeah, and I mean, if you pay attention to the language we use when discussing these platforms, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook. It's almost like you're on medication, like you're on some kind of drug. And I've been on it for X amount of time. It's no different from talking about, like, heroin at this point.
It's true.
It's an
I
addiction,
think some of the studies have shown that it's a similar chemical and biological response when you are either waiting for likes or you get the little notification.
Yep.
And I think I talked about this before. There's time where I take, like, I don't know why it's 48 hours, but it's always like 48-hour breaks where I just turn off my notifications.
As you should.
And I feel so much better because then that allows me to get on with my day, be productive, and then when I feel like it, I'll check in, and see if someone sent me a message or liked something.
Yeah, I don't need my phone writing me about anything.
That's
And
right.
then if you look at, like the colors that they use. Red, a sense of urgency. Blue makes you want to stay up and stay on. It's dangerous shit. It's
just the
potent
red
shit.
pill and the blue pill.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I can't.
But on a positive note, there's one person I think we all in some way, shape, form, or fashion have been inspired by, and who literally probably could use her Instagram to just be like, I'm picking my nose right now, everybody tune in, or I'm wiping my ass and everyone would tune in. But Rihanna has actually used her influence in a way that I think has inspired both young and old alike, with all her enterprises and makeup, and she's used her voice in a lot of different ways. I've been watching her over the years. She's been doing a lot around education globally, and working with kids in different countries. And more recently, she was in the news because she was tapped to perform at the upcoming Super Bowl. And she said no. And the reason she said no, because she doesn't agree with the NFL stance towards Colin Kaepernick and, everything he's been going through the past couple of years. Just to recap, Colin hasn't played since 2016. And he filed a grievance in November of last year, so this time last year against the NFL.
Well, I find it awfully convenient that Rihanna is declining to do the Super Bowl now that she is no longer releasing music. But in any case, it's for a great cause. And I think it's important that, everyone acknowledges at this time that the NFL is one of the largest racist institutions that we have just in our nation. Football is, like a deeply, I think, like country-based thing that happens. I'm not really into sports that involve balls, guys. Like, to me, boxing is what counts. The real victory is in whooping ass, but in any case, like, it's just, like we hear, like the athletic association in general. We've heard, like, basketball coaches and owners slip up and say something
Baseball,
crazy.
we saw the Jackie Robinson movie. Like, this is all institutional.
Extremely. So it's important that gets highlighted and that gets changed, because whether we want to admit it or not, we are still very much enslaved. And that is just one aspect. It's just that we get paid a little more now. But when it all comes down to it, if you can't simply oppose the standpoint of someone that you work for respectfully and not suffer for it, there's a lot to be said about it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, and Vito, I didn't vote in Texas, obviously. Shout out to my family in Texas. Someone pointed out to me, they actually sent me a YouTube video, I think it's like 3 minutes long, if you have ADD or a short attention span. He spoke very eloquently recently about Colin Kaepernick, and he said him kneeling was actually the most American thing he can do.
Yeah. Yep. But
Was
because
protest.
he's, you know, I guess nappy, it's an issue.
Well, I'm really happy though that Rihanna, I mean, you know, is showing that she's part of a community. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's important for people that are in the public eye to take a stand. And, you know, I talked about you can either be an upstander or bystander, and in this case, Rihanna is taking a stand in the right direction, and I'm hoping that more people do that so that things start to change for, you know, for the good, for the better. I think it's really important when you have the power to use it. Not say like, oh, you know, I mean, if I do it, it's okay. Like, no.
Like I heard dumbass Jermaine Dupri said that he feels as though no one should protest the Super Bowl, and if anything, that would be the perfect time to protest. I don't know if he wasn't really specific about it. I don't know if he was like, you know, there should be like a protest during these performances where people will say what they say. Like there's never a right time.
Jermaine Dupri is putting on for Atlanta. The Super Bowl's in Atlanta this year.
That's what that's why he's saying what he's saying. And I mean, I don't know what place he has in it. I don't know if So Def is gonna get together and perform. Like, you may as well, since you're saying all this shit. But I mean, I don't know. And then Cardi, like, she's kind of hanging in the balance.
I was just gonna say the pre Super Bowl music festival, which goes on for like at least 3 days, maybe more. Cardi is apparently participating along with some other new school rappers. I don't remember all the names, but they're all participating in that pre Super Bowl festival. So is there a distinction between the Super Bowl halftime versus taking a stand and not performing at this festival, or
aren't they all connected?
Right.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
So Cardi's performing with that, and Maroon 5 has hinted, because they have that collaboration, the Girls Like Me, that I mean, again, they haven't confirmed it, but they've hinted that not only would Cardi perform that song, but they want her to have space during the Super Bowl halftime show to do some of her own songs
her own
as well.
set. Like, she's trying to bargain with them. I don't know what to say about that. Like, you know, I can't tell you how to get your money. If you can live with yourself, if you can sleep at night, knowing that, you know, you basically just gave pretty much 90% of your listeners the finger, that's cool. Maroon 5, you sold out, so no one counts you anyway at this point. You guys do all that stupid pop shit that's charting now, so fuck you guys, do what you want, no one cares. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's a hot mess.
I do think it's interesting because we're talking about influence, and like you said, Junie, it's important that Rihanna stand up for this. Rihanna herself is a brand, and in the brand world, which I'm a part of, that's been a conversation for the last year. Brands have to start taking a stand. Brands can't just sit on the sidelines. So I think not just because she's a brand, but because there's so many people and children, quite frankly, that look up to her, that she's just showing, you know, the importance of A, taking a stand, B, using your influence for good, and C, showing these people, whether it's the NFL or the next people that we have a problem with, I'm part of this community.
She's not even friggin' American, y'all. She's Bayesian as all hell, and she's down. So
So that's a powerful example, I think, of using your influence for good. What do y'all think about Remy Ma? Because we talked about Cardi.
I don't think about Remy Ma.
Remy Ma is on State of the Culture, right? A very popular podcast with Joe Budden and Scotty Beam. And she said recently that she thought the Cardi-Nicki thing was corny. Remember, Cardi did like 11. I had to sit through all of them because people kept sending them to me. And I was like, for real? Like, at this point, call the girl. But anyway, she did 11 reaction videos to Nicki Minaj. And Remy said that, you know, because at the end they were like, okay, let's be positive, let's just squash it. She thought that was corny, the fact that at the end they were just like, okay, we're cool.
Yeah, well, Remy Ma has someone like, using a bag for the bathroom for the rest of their life, so I'm not surprised that she feels that way.
She has what?
She shot that lady in the stomach over that money, and she's all, you know, twisted, turned upside down now. So of course she feels that way.
Pregnant, she might be a little.
No, of course not. No.
So she said that it was corny because she would have liked them to keep going on with
she didn't go
conflict.
that explicit and say they shouldn't beat each other's ass or anything like that. But she was like, y'all did all this, and then it's like, oh, we're good. It's corny.
I mean, after Sheether, she kind of got shut down with a bar or two. So what can we say about that? She's not continuing her beef. What are we talking about, Remy? Like, I don't know. I don't think about that woman. She's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. I'm all for not wasting your studio time and, like stalking someone's Foursquare, see where they check in and show up. I'm all for it, but frankly, neither of those two. I mean, I'm sure Cardi would have been about it, but
I think it just escalated to a point, and you can tell that night when everything went down. Like, you just had the vibe, like, oh, this is going into an ugly place. So I think it just escalated to a point where, both teams or whatever were like, we need to squash this. Of course, there's conspiracy theorists that have been saying for a while that all of their beef was, constructed and done to boost their sales.
I'm sure that's why Nicki kept it up, because she's being put out to pasture at this point. The industry is harsh, and they're aging her, and they're making her obsolete. At least they're trying to. So she's kind of just like
Well, she just got some accolades for being the first.
She'll always get accolades.
For the 100 songs on the Billboard 100 or something like that last week. So I hear the narrative that she's obsolete, but I'm not seeing it in her results.
I don't know. As long as everyone keeps shading her, it just, I don't know.
Yeah, but the persona, yes, that's been problematic.
I'm just like, I'm happy they are done because, I'm like, why for women, if it's a publicity stunt or whatever, they're trying to boost their sales, why does it have to be about conflict? Why can't they do something creative? These are freaking like creative women, and it just gets on my nerves that every time women get more popularity in the media, it's because they're like beefing. It's like, is there anything
beefing
else?
or releasing nudes, or nudes are being leaked?
Whose news were leaked?
What?
Cardi had some nudes leaked.
Recently?
Like a few months ago, actually. But that's
Wait,
usually
I
when
didn't know.
Wait,
What?
Google it up. It's out there. It's out there. But you're right. I feel like that's the only time women are popular, when they're fighting or they're naked.
Is it different from like Dynasty? Like, we see this in our popular culture all the time.
Yeah, but it speaks to, power. And it's like, women, we are powerful when we are doing it for other people's entertainment.
Yeah.
Not for ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I see this, as you guys can tell, I get riled up because I'm like, these are two awesome creative women, and the most creative thing they can come up with to boost their sales is to have a conflict, have drama. Come on! It's so old. I'm just like...
The latest rumor, and it's a rumor, is that they are open to collaborate.
They should have collaborated already.
Well, maybe they've just been playing us the whole time, and so that because there's like the peak, and then maybe this was like the build up, and then so we could all be like, oh yes, finally they're collaborating. If you're a conspiracy theorist,
I mean,
I'm not.
I don't know. If 50 Cent is out here ready to buy up
oh
all of John
God,
music,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, okay,
Curtis?
I did unfollow him recently. But when I saw that, I died laughing. Just the visual of him sitting there with all those empty seats because you're that petty that you bought 200 tickets just to have the empty seat visual. Like, that was hilarious.
Too
I'm
much
sorry.
money.
That
Too
was
much
freak.
money.
And then Ja Rule with his 50 Cynthia meme. Yo.
This is where social media
Then these are the adults, right? Like, how old are they?
They're old.
They're old. They're from
really
back in the
old.
day.
They're at retirement age at this point.
I can't. I want to talk about a man, and I'm very near and dear to my heart, even though we don't know each other. Big Sean. Did you guys see the Complex piece they did, where he went back to his high school in Detroit, Cass Tech, and there were so many lessons in that video, because like I watched it the first time and then it was like, oh my God, that was so cool, and then I went back and watched it and I tried to pretend that I was like a student.
Oh my Lord.
And there was so much to unpack there. Like, first of all, I'm gonna leave that part for last. when he met Kanye West and he's like not really wanting to hear what Big Sean has to spit or say, and he's like, well, I listen to Last Call like every day, I brush my teeth to it, whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, like you fuck with Last Call, let me hear what you got. And he just starts spitting bars, and he's like taking you through the emotional journey of walking through this radio station hallway, trying to prove himself with his one shot with Kanye. And so the bars keep coming, and it actually went on for 10 minutes. And I think also him saying that, you know, he gave him a CD at the end, and he was like, if I hadn't treated rap like a job since I was 12 years old, I would have never had that CD to give him. It's like the little things that you don't think about. And even the part where he said after he got like signed and he was working by himself, still in Detroit, in a studio that looked a lot like this one. And Kanye's like either calling him, I think, or texting him, giving him criticism. At no point when he was talking about that was it like this negative energy. It was like he was taking the criticism. So I think especially nowadays where people are looking for like instant success, instant fame, gratification, for someone to really be able to like take you through that emotional journey, the discipline, the working at something, working at a craft since you were 12, and understanding the importance of being able to take criticism. I really, really was inspired. But I've been watching him for years. He's always come back to Detroit, whether it's like giving turkeys away at Thanksgiving or what have you. So that just like took it up another notch for me. It's another great example of someone using their influence in a way that's positive and powerful.
Yeah, I got a little emotional when he, you know, because everyone knows I used to be a teacher, so I taught high school. When he went back to his old high school and he saw his teacher, and, you know, I mean, as a teacher, to see one of your students be successful in that way and then come back and, like, give back to the students, I thought that was really cute. And I think it's important for young people, like younger people, so like high school students and middle school students, to see success. You know what I mean? Yeah. And see success that is people of color being successful. And especially like black men. I think that's so important for women to see and for young men to see. And so just like him being there, I thought that was a great experience for the kids. It was funny when he had to run away. Yeah.
Like literally run away.
Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred if it was a little bit more intimate, you know, like, I mean, not that it would be possible because, I mean, I'm sure if he were to just walk through the streets, it would either be like gunshots or mobs of people. But I gotta say, Detroit has been like the birthplace for a lot of talent since way back when.
That's right.
So shout out to the D. Thanks for Danny Brown and all the others. I don't particularly care about Big Sean, but you know, I'm glad you guys enjoyed what you saw. I skimmed over it briefly, and it was cool. You know, I respect the struggle and all that jazz. It's cool.
Yeah,
good for you, Big Sean.
You need to not be afraid to go hard for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And the thing that I think it was towards the end of the video, I think I just got a little excited when he was like over the loudspeaker because they didn't know he was in the office, and he said, if you guys get your ACT scores up to like a certain level, he would be back. I thought that was really great because then it's like, it's not just, oh, he showed up at our school.
There's
it's like he's going to come back and do better.
That was cool. I would have liked, you know, Kimber said that to be more intimate. I would have liked to,
like, go to your childhood home.
That's what I was going to say. I was waiting in the video to like see maybe like his mom or so, I don't know, like someone from his family could talk about how his work ethic when he was like, you know, 12 starting out, and how he got into it. And because something that we don't see a lot and we don't understand, it's not just like when you're starting out as an artist or a creative and you're doing this art, you also need a lot of support. So I would have liked to learn from like his mom or dad or whomever helped support him get through that, you know, and not lose interest, because a lot of kids are super talented, but there's no one there to say, yeah, it's getting hard, okay, but keep going.
Right.
And
then there's always like that parent that'll see you singing or tap dancing or doing a backflip or whatever, and they'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? Go study.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to know, like, how did he deal with that?
Right. Like,
who pushed him?
Right.
He talked, not in that video, but I know he talked about his parents before, even like how they both were supportive after they got divorced. And I don't remember how many years ago, because I've been following him for a long time. When his grandmother passed, he had oh my God, like, I don't know how you could read that tribute without crying. Like, it was so, I mean, I know she was a big supporter. Like you said, just having that support system. That's all I know.
Okay.
But I think it's important to stress that this doesn't necessarily mean for the youth.
Watch part 2 on our YouTube channel.